What's going on, YouTube fam? We are back with a look at the town of Altavista. It might be for you if you're thinking about moving to in or around the Lynchburg, Virginia area. Today, we're talking about Altavista. We're going to tell you how big it is. We're going to tell you about the houses, and we're going to tell you what you might want to know if you're considering a move to the Lynchburg, Virginia area, and maybe even the little town of Altavista. We're going to get after it. You know, we got to do this first, right? We got to get in the mood. We got to hear the music, got to see a couple of shots of the town and my family, whom I love. So we're going to get after it right after this. Okay, you know it right away, but I am JD Miller. I work with that little international real estate company called EXP Realty. And if you want to get a hold of me, feel free to reach me at this number, this email, text, call, send me an email. I talk to people every single day in one way or another. Usually it's good news, sometimes it's troubleshooting, but every single day about moving to in or around the Lynchburg, Virginia area. And I would love to talk to you, but what you need to do is call me. Now let's jump into Altavista, and we'll get back to that number again later. I'll give it to you later. Stand by. Don't worry about it. We're going to talk about the town of Altavista. I'm going to give you a little behind the scenes tour, a surprise. Maybe you don't want to see this, but it's not that bad. You'll be fine.
I can never unsee that.
But before we get into all the other stuff we're going to talk about, let's talk about taxes. Something you need to know if you're going to consider living in the town of Altavista, in the boundary town proper, then you're going to have a little bit of a 1-2 punch for taxes. So Campbell County, you're going to get hit with your county taxes, and you're going to get hit with a small upcharge for the town of Altavista itself. Inside the town, the tax rate for real estate, including mobile homes, is 8 cents per $100 value. That's in the town. In the county, the tax rate is 52 cents per $100 value. So we add those up, 52 plus 8, and you get it, 60 cents per $100 value for the opportunity and the ability and the privilege of living in the town of Altavista. So how does that compare to these other tax rates? Keep in mind, the county of Bedford is 50 cents per $100 value on your real estate tax. The city of Lynchburg is $1.11 per $100 value. So overall, it's not that much worse than the county of Bedford, or if you're just in the county of Campbell, you have a little addition there, 50 cents, 52 cents, add on the 8 cents for living in the town of Altavista, and it's doable. Look, no one likes to pay more taxes than they have to, but it's just like people that are looking around the Lynchburg area. And we have friends like this who they understood the county taxes, they understood the city taxes, the house they wanted and the location they wanted to be was in Lynchburg City. So they just budget it. It's part of the purchase. They know what it's going to be, and they're willing to pay those taxes. So that's something you have to consider. Just be aware of it, that in the town, you have that little additional bump. So at the time I was gathering all the information for this video, let me give you some numbers of what we were looking at. We had 3 active listings for sale from 125,000 up to 230,000. We had 4 pending properties. Their list price was anywhere from 25,000 all the way up to 370,000. And from November 1st of 2022 to January 7th of 2023, we had 10 properties close. I want to show you 4 of those properties right now and give you a little bit of data on those so you can see the kind of properties that are available and selling in the Altavista area. The first one we're going to look at is 2209 Beach Ave. This was a steal, I think. It sold for $287,900. I had clients that were looking at this, but we looked at it just a little bit late. They were just getting under contract negotiating while we were going in, and we missed out on this one. But this is a nice one, 4-bed, 3-bath, over 2,900 square feet. It was on the market for 21 days. And you can see the work they did inside here. This wasn't an investment, a flip. You do need to be careful with these. Sometimes people come in and they just do like I don't want to say bad work, but it might be bad work. And then they turn around to make money. So it helps if you know the people that own it, that are doing the work. I do know the agent who listed this, and I know the process that he goes through with the investors. And so I would not have been concerned at all with my clients buying this house, but we missed out on this one right here. Here's a quick video of the neighborhood. You can see the house amongst these trees. It's really a beautiful, quiet area. Even though you're really close to 29, is a couple turns and you're on the highway heading north or south. It's a nice area. This next one, 2086 Shady Lane. Now, this one was on the market for 55 days. Now, I don't know where you're at in the world, but 55 days, 6 months ago, this was unheard of. Things are changing a little bit. I'm going to do another video on the market and what we're looking at right now for 2023. That was my phone beeping message coming in. I'm going to do another video about the market overall. But 55 days, still a nice house right here. It sold for $248,500. It's 4-bed, 3-bath, over 3,000 square feet. It's a little deceptive looking at these pictures, and you can't really get a good sense from just the outside front shot of the house. But there's a lot of square footage there. And again, it's nice to look at these things. If you're going to move into an area, you can go to these places, look at what the sold properties were recently, and get an idea of what kind of finishes, what kind of square footage, what kind of town or area of the town, the purchase price is bringing in that area. And you can kind of see, compare it to your budget. Is this reasonable what we're looking at? Now let's take a little drive by this town and show you the area. This really is very close to the first one we looked at on Beach. And it's pretty, again, the trees, it's quite close. So you have that same proximity to the highway, a little bit quiet area right there. You hear a little hum of the highway depending on where you're at and how quiet it is. But that depends on whether or not that bothers you. That does not bother me. I have a little bit of the hum of the highway going by our house, not a problem at all. And the two houses I showed you already, for me, weren't a problem. I had clients there in person. We did some video showings at different places. And I often will stand there, just be quiet, hold up my phone or hold up my GoPro. Hear that? Nope, silence. So it's important to know, hey, I don't want to be that close to the highway, or I'd like to be that close to the highway because I can jump on and I can get to work, I can get to school, I can get to where I need to be. Okay, before we get to the next one, stick around. We are going to talk about the town size, parks, schools, all that kind of stuff. But I want to show you just two more properties. This next one sold December 22nd, 2022. The address is 1819 Sunset Drive. Now you see this one here, 4 beds, 2 bath, 1,400 square feet, and it sold for $215,000. First off, right here, we see some bees on the end of the road. I love that whole beekeeping idea. One day I might buy some land and do some farming and beery. What's that called? Called something. I forget what it's called. I should know this from the office because Dwight had one.
No, Jim, I use a bad apiarist.
But here's the property we're looking at right here on Sunset. And as we drive by, you'll see the kind of curb appeal. It looks really nice. It's great. But pay attention to the back right there. That is not a flat yard in the back. And you are going to see that from time to time, and you're going to want to pay attention to it. We don't call it the Hill City for nothing. The front yard of that house is pretty usable. The backyard, not so much maybe. It just depends. You got to take a close look at it. Now, can you dig things out? Can you put retaining walls? Yeah, you can do anything with time and money, but do you want to? That's something to consider when you're doing that purchase price offer on a place, and when you're looking at houses. How serious are you about whether or not this house would work for you? All right, the last house we're going to look at. We saved the cute one for last at 803 Lola Ave. Sold in December of 2022 after 4 days on the market only, and at a price of $132,000. But look at it. It is 2 beds, 1 bath. Not a lot to show right there. And let's drive by this place. Now, talk about hilly. As you're looking at this, I know I mentioned it before, but this is some of what I do for clients who are out of state. If they can't get here and see the area, not only do we look at the house, we also look at the area, the street, and here we are going downhill. And that right there is a hill, my friends. So if you're going out to exercise from 803 Lola, you want to be careful and know which way you're going to start and which way you're finished. Some way you got to go uphill. But those are the 4 houses that we took a look at here. Of the 10 that sold from November to January 7th of 2023. Let's talk about the size of the town of Altavista. According to the 2020 census, the population was 3,378, and that population fits inside of a mere 5.24 square miles. Now, where exactly is Altavista located? Take a look with me on Google Maps. Okay, here we are. You can see Altavista right there below Lynchburg. We have Lynchburg up at the top, Forest, and then you go down 29 and you're going to hit Altavista. What you can see is to the right of Smith Mountain Lake. There's Booker T. Washington National Monument. Someday I might do a video on some of the historic places around here as well. Now, if we keep going south, we're going to hit Danville, and then we're going to hit right below Danville is the line to North Carolina. But let's zoom in here a little bit on Altavista so I can show you what we're looking at. Hurt, town of Hurt is right below Altavista. How far are we from different locations? And from Altavista, you can see that you're about 24 minutes from downtown Lynchburg. How about Roanoke? If you want to go over to the town of Roanoke, which I affectionately call a town, but yes, it is a city. You are looking at a 56-minute ride to the town, otherwise known as the city of Roanoke. Come on, dude, get it together. All right, a couple more. Bedford VA, 37 minutes about, depends how fast you drive. I did get a ticket in Bedford, which I deserved. Man, okay, I gotta stop talking. I got 2 tickets in the past 2 years. Both deserved. But the town of Bedford, which has a lot of cool stuff in there, Beals, which I love. They have Electrico Art Company and Electrico Bistro, some new places that opened up. Nice little antique places. It is a quaint little town, the town of Bedford, and it has the National D-Day Memorial, which would be on my video of historic places to see, museums, monuments, that kind of thing. At any rate, you're only 35 minutes from there. What if I want to go to Farmville? Hour and 15 minutes you're going to drive, get on 460 and go east. What's in Farmville, you may ask? Lots of stuff. Shopping, green front, furniture, stuff, all kinds of stuff, accessories, home living accessories. I think they have 11 or 12 buildings there. You have some universities around there as well. Hampden-Sydney College is right outside of Farmville. Okay, let's give you Richmond as well. Traveling from Altavista to Richmond, 2.5-hour ride. Now, what's in Richmond? Tons of stuff. But one of the good reasons to go to Richmond is the Cheesecake Factory. I think it's the closest cheesecake factory to us in the Lynchburg, Virginia area. You might be able to get down into North Carolina to a little bit closer Cheesecake Factory if you wanted to, but 2.5 hours off to Richmond. Since we talked about schools, let's just throw in some universities here around our area and see how long it takes to get there. Altavista to Liberty University, just about 30 minutes. Altavista to the University of Lynchburg, just about 37 minutes. Altavista to Randolph College, about 40 minutes. Altavista to Averett University down in Danville, about 50 minutes. And if you want to head north up to UVA or UVA Medical Center, UVA Hospital, it's about an hour and 35 minutes. Smith Mountain Lake is about 38 minutes. Now, this can be a little deceiving because, of course, on Smith Mountain Lake, it depends where you're going. If you want to get around to the west or south side, it's going to take you longer than 38 minutes, and it could take you substantially longer. But if you just need to get to the water to throw your toes or your ski boat or jet ski, boat, see how I don't boat? If you want to get to the water and throw your stuff in anywhere, you're about 38 minutes to the closest portion of Smith Mountain Lake. I got to get to Smith Mountain Lake and do some fun stuff there. All right, let's take a look at some stats for you now. To give you some context on the numbers, let's go over some data from 2021. January 1st to December 31st in January 2021, there were 44 houses sold in the town of Altavista. The average selling price was $148,866. The 2022 stats from January 1st to December 31st, 56 properties were sold. The average selling price, $196,207. That is a bump of a little over $47,000 in average sales price right within the town of Altavista. Time out, quick break. Remember, if you want to get a hold of me, get in contact. Right there's the phone number and the email. Please give me a call, send me an email, or shoot me a text if you want to work together. And listen, if this video is helping you at all, you would help me a lot if you gave me the like or put a comment down below or subscribed even. Let's talk a little bit about schools. Now, as realtors, we are not allowed to say to you, this is a good school, this is a bad school. We're just not allowed to do that. But one tool that you might want to use is niche.com. I'm going to show you here, throw in a couple schools around the area, not a couple, 4 schools around the area. Here it is, niche.com. And you can compare up to 4 schools at a time. So here's Altavista High School. Actually, we're going to take a drive by there. I'll show it to you a little bit. It's Altavista Combined School, middle school and high school, the same building. It gives you scores overall. We're looking at Altavista on the far left. Then I put in Rustburg. I put in Liberty High School, which is in Bedford County. And I put in Faith Christian Academy, which is actually in the town of Hurt, just below Altavista. So you have your overall grade, and then they have different categories broken down: academics, diversity, teachers. You're going to want to look at those and see what those actually mean. And then the student to teacher ratio and overall students. Look at that. In the town of Altavista, the Altavista High School is 672 students, pretty close to Rustburg, which I think I have second here. Yep, 789. And then Liberty High School in Bedford, 1,100. And then that little private school, Faith Christian Academy in Hurt, 142 students. So if you're moving in with children and schooling is important to you, that's something that you're going to want to do your homework on. Call the schools, look on the Facebook pages, parents, look, everyone, every entity, school, police, realtors, every churches, every entity has people that complain about it. The trick is to be discerning and try to figure out, is this a good complaint? Is it a valid complaint? Or are people just making noise to make noise? You might have someone like that in your life. Some people are not happy unless they're unhappy. So take everything that I'm saying with a grain of salt or a shaker of salt, and do your research, do your homework, make sure that you're comfortable with the choices that you are making. But I don't know when the school was built. It looks pretty modern, pretty clean, pretty nice on the outside. I do know someone through the real estate world who grew up in Altavista, and they loved it. They said it was a great place to grow up. So here's the front of the school, and I'm going to take a walk down and show you the outside track here as well, just to give you a glimpse of it. It was a beautiful day when I was out riding around. Me and my wife, we went out, hit some places, took some videos, did some tours, and got some content here for you to throw on YouTube and teach you about the town of Altavista. Here's the track. They got that mushy but not mushy track surface. It's really nice. I think almost all high schools have this now. Back in the day when my dad, who's in his 80s, was running, they were running on cinder tracks, man. He still has 1 or 2 cinders in his knee from when he went down. Well, if you go down on this stuff, you're not going to be happy either. If you're going to come watch a game at Altavista, go buy Dick's Sporting Goods and buy yourself one of those cushions. Because much like the sitting arrangement at Randolph College, where we go to cheer on the Wildcats basketball, the seating area, it's not comfy. So you want to have some of those soft little, just like 1 or 2 inch foam things. They're like $10 at Dick's, or you can get the more elaborate flip up seats, recliners, hold your drink and remote and all that junk. All right, a quick drive by the elementary school as well. It is a nice looking, well-kept building here on the outside. Now, this school is right across the street from this next place that I want to show you, which is Two Sisters Tap Room. Two Sisters Tap Room. If you're in the area, sorry about the wonky sideways looking video there. I'm holding that handheld out my sunroof, I think. But they have delicious sandwiches, onion rings, beer. So you can go in there and have an adult beverage. Don't go in and have like an adult beverage or so. Sure, I'm getting judgy. I shouldn't tell you how to live life. But you don't want to go over there, be drinking, and then go pick up your child over at the elementary school. All right. Save it for when you can just sit and relax and you don't have to worry about things and timing and all that. It's a good place to go, though, to eat. Let's talk about some things that you have to do in Altavista. They have 5 or 6 parks here. I'm gonna show you a PDF of the different parks in the map, and then we're gonna take a ride by War Memorial Park right here. But look at the parks spread out in the town of Altavista. English Park here, number 1 on the map, and number 1 in your heart, has a splash pad. Now we didn't get out here to see the splash pad because keep in mind it's January when I'm out here running around, but lots of different opportunities. We drove by War Memorial Park, and I'm going to show you our little drive-by right here. And War Memorial is located right near the YMCA. So you got this YMCA in Altavista that has childcare. They have adult classes, swimming, aquatic center, and then all the other stuff you have for the YMCA's as far as working out and getting it in shape. Right now, when you're watching this, I don't know what time of year it is, but if you made any resolutions to get in shape, get after it. All right. You can do it. Baseball fields, playgrounds, that kind of stuff. And let me show you this. Okay, now it's time for the inside look, which you did not expect to get. Look at this. We were driving around, and as happens, my wife was like, hey, I could use a restroom. So could I. Look at this. No mirror inside to check your Fonzie hairdo, but it's a little rough. It's a little parky type bathroom. If you have kids, or if you remember what it's like taking your kids to baseball games and all that stuff at the park, that bathroom right there, my friends, was pretty decent. Other than the lack of mirror where I couldn't straighten my lid, the bathroom was pretty clean. Yeah, it looks old and rusty and stuff like that, but it's nice to have a bathroom open to the public when you're out running around. You can jump in there and TCB, as Elvis would say, take care of business. I don't know what time the bathrooms close. I don't know what time they lock those up, but when we were there, they were open and ready for use. How about a little museum action in the town of Altavista, the Alcova Museum? Take a look at this on the outside where I was walking around. Couldn't get inside, it was closed, but look at these grounds. This is located at 1514 Main Street. It's the home site of Colonel Charles Lynch, as he or someone else said about him, a patriot of the Revolution. And he is the brother to John Lynch, who's Lynchburg's founder. So they have Revolutionary War history here, Civil War history, Native American history, lots of good stuff to check out here. If you're a history buff, I do love history. I wouldn't say I'm a scholar, but I like to go to historical places and I like to see historical things and learn, and I enjoy that. And there's quite a few places around Central Virginia and South Central Virginia and beyond that you can get your fill of historical stuff. All right, finally, here's what we did. We talked about some schooling, we talked about some housing, some data, the size of Altavista. Let me give you a little tip that could help you if and when you move to the area. So even if you're not in Altavista, if you're in Forest or if you're in Lynchburg, depending on where you are in Lynchburg, check out where we're going to drive to next. We are pulling into Town and Country Business Center. We're doing business. And what I want you to pay specific attention to is this sign right over there to your right. Now, to the far right, we have a grocery store. Hey, everyone needs food, but look at this blue and white sign. That, my friends, is the DMV. And if you have DMV issues to take care of, when you move or when you need to update something after you moved or anytime you live here, I have found that I've gone to this location and got some quicker service than I have at other places. No fault of the other places. I'm not complaining. I'm not saying they're not running them well, but in the Lynchburg location I went to, in Bedford location, it was busy, busy, busy. Lines out the door busy. So I made an appointment here one day and came in and got some pretty quick service. To be honest with you, I may not even have made an appointment. I might have gone in. Check the DMV website. The last and final thing I want to show you right up here to the left, Joe Beans. Yes, Altavista has a Joe Beans, so you can get your Joe Beans fix. We're going to finish up with Joe Beans. That's a great way to finish. It's a great way to start your day and a great way to finish your day. I'll throw some bloopers here on the end and a little B-roll also. But please remember, if you do want to contact me, you know the number or the email. I would love to talk to you. Doesn't matter if you're thinking about moving in a month or in 6 months or a year. Let's talk and see if we're even a good fit. If we're not a good fit, might be able to point you to someone else. All right. So until next time, do take care of yourself, smile, fist bumps and hugs, and we will see you on the next one.
In 400 feet, turn right on Beverly Heights.
And there we have it. We're going to finish up on Joe Beams.